The jury is set and opening arguments begin today in a federal court case against Meta. The outcome could force the owner of Facebook and Instagram to make some major changes to its platform or risk going out of business. 29 states have sued the social media giant, including North Carolina.
Meta is, of course, pushing back on allegations that it addicted young users and ignored a growing mental health crisis sparked by overuse of its products. The new defense is expected to focus on the fact that while some young people were harmed by using social media, many others were not. Now, if Meta loses, it could be forced to pay up to $1.4 trillion in damages, almost the entire market value of the company.
All right, so joining us once again is our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes. Facebook has been under fire for years, it seems like, right? And we have 29 states involved in these lawsuits. This is not going away. How do you foresee this trial going?
Well, I won't say it's not going away. You can settle at any time. You can settle in the middle of the
In the minds of the public, it's not going away.
It's not going away, and this is an issue that obviously they didn't want to resolve prior to trial. You don't go through this process fighting 29 states without having a discussion of, well, what the settlement looked like. It's just they probably were, Grand Canyon size apart. And so now we end up going to trial. We have opening statements that are occurring. And so you're at the point where you selected a jury, you're moving forward, and you're moving forward rapidly. These types of cases are going to be complex and hard for the states to prove, but they do have a number of things where I believe they already have Meta dead to rights. A couple portions. This deceptive consumer practices. They X knew what was happening. They publicly represented that this isn't happening, and consumers were likely to be misled. That's going to be how you get to that deceptive thing. I'm saying one hand that no, our products don't do this, while I have information that suggests something other than that. The other aspect, this other claim is unfair and unconscionable product design. Meta didn't merely lie about their products, because that would be the first claim, but they lied about it while also creating the problem. That's what the states are going to attempt to prove, that you have these features, as some of the evidence that the court has already pointed to that shows that teen users were utilizing your programs from the hours of midnight to 4 in the morning on a weekly basis. If you have this data on hand, you should be recognizing when you're testifying in front of these hearings, when you're talking to representatives and the parents and the teens, that this is something that can be potentially addictive, but you're saying no, it's not. So that defective product, and then on the other hand, that COPA compliance. Are you ensuring that these Children Online Privacy Protection Act is being followed? And the states are arguing you're not even attempting to follow it at all. So those are the three complaints that I think they're alleging, and I know that they're alleging, and the judge is already siding with them on a couple of those areas.
Okay, so with those three areas, what do these collective states, what would be realistic changes that they would like Meta to make going forward?
Well, I mean, obviously, to not make false representations and misstatements of what your product does, probably clear warning labels similar to what you see on tobacco products and alcohol products and gambling, things like that. That this is a product that could potentially be dangerous. Giving individuals that warning so that when they walk into it, they know what they're signing up for. And because you're dealing with youth, dealing with children and teens, recognizing that you have protections or barriers in place to stop them or at least prevent them from walking into something that they may not even be able to consent to or be aware and appreciate what they are now becoming addicted to. As an adult, if you're addicted to gambling, you're 18 years old, you know what you're walking into, and you may not appreciate the ramifications, but you have the ripe age to consent to it. As a teen user, you don't even have an age to consent to now something that could have lifelong addicting problems. And so what I would say is you're asking them to create barriers in place so that teen users won't get to it. But now you jump into another hurdle. What First Amendment protections do adult users have in place to ensure that now you're not trampling on their rights while attempting to stop kids from getting access to it? And that's the issue that Meta is having while trying to balance this, and obviously profits as well. But those are the type of concerns that they're dealing with while trying to address this.
Really quickly, we all joke that, we're addicted to social media, right? How do you go about proving that? What would be a win for these states to say, yes, this is exactly what caused my addiction?
They knew. That's what I'm pointing to. They knew that this was addictive and they did nothing to stop it. So that's my opening statement. I'm showing text messages, I'm showing emails, I'm showing communication that shows background and internal studies that show, hey, we realize that we have a problem. But now you're seeing those same communication, and the things that I'm saying is what these states have already have suggested and alleged. Now we have information that shows that these are things that's addictive. But on our front facing in the public and in courts, we're saying, no, it doesn't. So now you're having a conflict of what your product actually does. I mean, that 4 a.m. and to 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. prospect, that's going to be problematic. You can't get around that. If you have data that shows that and you're not doing anything to stop that, yeah, that's going to hurt their case.
Okay, well, a lot of eyes will be watching this one. So, Clay, thank you.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.